Hello and welcome to Virtual Encounters. I'm Abhishek Mahajan. When we think of Indian football, we think of his name. When we talk of a football legend, his name will never take a miss. Torchbearer of Indian football in international arena, former Indian captain, legendary football player Bhaichung Bhutia is joining us live on DD News and DD India. Welcome, Bhaichung. Thank you for giving us time. Appreciate you joining us on Doordarshan. First of all, how have you been? I was reading it somewhere that you were away from your family, your wife and your kids for almost 2 months. Are you back home now, or are you still away from them?
No, right now I'm still in Siliguri, but I'm with my kids because I think the lockdown towards the end, we had flights resumed. So that's when I went to Calcutta, spent some time with the family there, and then again got back kids to Siliguri because it's nicer place here in Siliguri because you can do better things around. So that way, yes, initially I was away from the family for 2 months.
Okay. But Bajung, sports persons, they are not used to being cooped up at home for so long. It's been 2, 3 months now. What do you think, as a general perspective for a sports person? Is it a good break for them, or you think it's a very long time now?
I don't think it's a good break for professional sports person because sports is all about fitness and a lot of sports persons, especially outdoors and even indoors, sports like badminton, including table tennis, and a lot of sports which requires a lot of physical fitness to be kept. So if you have your own treadmill, you can do a bit of running, but I'm sure a lot of sports persons in India today are not fortunate to have their own gym. So it's definitely challenging because in sports fitness is very important when you're playing any sports like football, badminton, tennis, basketball, athletics. It is challenging times. So to really have a 2 months break and then coming back again to that same fitness where you left 2 months early does take a little bit of time.
It does indeed takes a little bit of time to come back again. It's all about momentum in the sport. But Baichung, do you think it's a blessing in disguise for those people who might be going through small niggles, who might be injured, and now they'll come back afresh?
Definitely for them, I think it's a good break, to get treatment. But I hope again when you're injured, you're not just sitting at home. I think you are doing a lot
Yeah.
of rehabs, so you need good physios. You need also a fitness trainer to get you starting. To get you started. Just small workout, initial workout. So though it is a welcome break for them, but I hope they got all the support they needed.
Mm. And also, Baichung, cricket has started. In fact, will start in some time. Football too has started, but without any fans. Could you have imagined playing at the Salt Lake Stadium without a single fan?
No, not at all. I think it's definitely not good for the players because players do want to play in stadiums which is filled with crowd because the environment is different. And a lot of players, for example, me as well, gets motivation out of the fans. And fans are there really when you are tired, dead to really give you that extra motivation. That is where I think you require the support of the fans and
Hmm.
it's definitely dull and difficult for players to play in empty stadiums.
Hmm. Absolutely, it does give you an extra motivation that you mentioned, extra josh that you had mentioned earlier. But Bachung, how do you think, how big a boost is it for the football fans to see major European leagues starting again?
I think it's a big welcome step for us, especially people like me who've been footballer and now a big football fan. So, and especially in lockdown, you have nothing happening apart from just news, and which is also a lot of people just having more coronavirus. That many people died, this many more
Yeah.
infected with the virus. So it's more of negative and puts a lot of people down psychologically. So for a football live to come in, matches to come in live is something which obviously for me and for everyone who's a football fan have been looking forward to it. No doubt it's a little dull, but still I think football is such a game that you've got action full 90 minutes, and I'm still enjoying as much as I've been enjoying before as well.
Yeah, Baichung, you mentioned about a lot of negativity around, not a lot of negative stories around. But what is the solution? Because semblance of normalcy will take a little bit of time from now. How should a sports person deal with this massive impasse?
I think sports person are quite equipped to deal with it because when you play sports, it's all about challenges every day. Even in training, you're challenging your teammates, you're challenging your other striker to get into that position. So every day is a challenge for a sports person. So I think sports person would deal it quite positively and mentally I think they would be quite strong to handle the situation because there will be a lot of times in sports person's life when you go so close to winning and you lose it, and then again you work from bottom to start and win it. So I think sports persons I think will handle it positively. But at the same time, I think it's important that we should not just sit and complain and say difficult
Yeah.
times. I think we need to try and overcome these difficult times. We need to be positive. I think that's the most.
Absolutely. We need to be very, very positive to tide over the crisis and to deal with this pandemic and especially for the sports person. But Baichung, if we go a little bit back, it's been 9 years since you played your last match in the Indian jersey. But you have done a lot in football. You have achieved a lot in football. But in a country like India, it's where cricket is all around. It's very difficult to choose a sport which doesn't have too much of fan following if we compare it with cricket or any other sport for that matter. But when did you choose that you want to play professional football and you want to make it as your career?
When we were kids, I think we had no television, no newspaper, nothing we could see which sport was big in India or not. We had no options, but we only looked around locally what was played. And I think if you're born in Sikkim and Northeast, there's only one sport that everybody played, and till today as well,
Yeah.
everybody plays that sport. That's football. So it was never any option. I think I never knew about cricket till the time I think I might have come out of Sikkim and never watched as well. I think cricket, obviously, those days football also was you could not see. Only first time television came and football came into television was '86 World Cup. That too just 1 year and 1 month and it went off. So it wasn't very difficult for me to choose football because that was the only sport that was played in Sikkim and everybody loved it. And that's how I started, playing. And more importantly, we never thought of making a career. It was something which was very passionate and I really
Yeah.
loved it. And
Yeah.
that's how, it started.
And Baichung, it's been 9 years of your retirement now. And how are you playing your second innings now post retirement?
I've been doing a lot of things which is quite exciting and uh, quite puzzling as well. Sometimes I'm doing a lot of things which I'm myself trying to figure out what exactly I'm doing. But it's been good. I'm trying to keep myself busy. Football is something I've been also in touch with Bhaichung Bhutia football schools. We've been doing grassroots footballs in a big way. But apart from that, I'm trying to see some other things which excites me because I've been playing football for 35 years. So there's something which I don't want to carry on for quite some time. Maybe later on I might again come back fully into football. But right now, doing bits and pieces which excites me. So yeah.
And you have three kids also. You're giving them time, the time that children always crave for.
Yes, I think this lockdown that has been very, very helpful in getting me to spend times. I've just got them 1 month ago from Calcutta. They've been with me in Siliguri, so they've been regularly playing football with me in the morning, and the girls are doing karate and gymnastics, and the boy is playing football. So we've had good quality family time because of lockdown.
Are they also fond of football or any other sport? I was reading it somewhere that you want your son to be a tennis player.
No, not exactly. I think he's still fond of football. Tennis, again, for us in Sikkim, the opportunities are very, very less. But he does watch and play, not play, but he does watch tennis and follows it. But football, he's been playing, he follows it quite well. And
Yeah.
hopefully, I think let's see if he wants to make a career out of it.
Yeah, and also Baichung, you have been the greatest football player our country has ever produced, and you have given back to the football also. You were mentioning that Bhutia football schools in Delhi and then United Sikkim Club. You founded Football Players Association too. You think you want to give back more to the Indian football?
Definitely, yes, in later stages because coaching is something which obviously is which excites me. I've not done full coaching right now because I don't think it'll do justice because the time and the effort I need to put into coaching is something which I don't think I will be able to give it. But I do part time once in a while, train my club, train few kids around. So that's something which I enjoy doing it. But later on, maybe do something more seriously into that. But I think I'm quite happy with the way I've been able to give back to the sports through Bhaichung Bhutia football schools, through United Sikkim Football Club. So but that way I've been quite happy still connected with the game.
Yeah, I know, Bhutia. I mean, you're always very vocal about how Indian football should run. Uh, what do you think? Is Indian football going towards right direction? Two leagues running simultaneously, ISL and I League. Now ICL, the top league. Indian football going towards right direction?
I think it is slowly getting to the right direction. Obviously, it requires a bit of time. We need to get our structure right. Till now, I think we still don't have proper structure. We're still confused with two league, which is what is going to happen after 1 year, 2 years, whether the leagues are going to merge, not merge. So there's a lot of confusion at this moment. So I think once you get a structure right and keep that structure, follow it, then I think it's going to help. So for that, I think it requires 2 3 years. There is going to be, I think, now relegation promotion with ISL, I League. So in 2 3 years, I think the things would get more settled and the structure would be right. But at the moment, I think everybody is, a little not sure about whether what is going to happen, even if they own a football club or they run a football association. Or
You are saying things would be better, and you are saying 2 3 years the structure would be better. Why do you say so? Is the work going on at the grassroots level?
I think it is going on right now. As you just mentioned, there are two leagues and everybody is confused about what league, which league. So I think that has to be completely structurized to make sure that this is the first league, this is the second league. How do you do the promotion relegation? Then you've got another third division league. Then you've got state leagues to look after it. So I think those kind of things has to be placed in order so that we know what exactly is happening. So every year we can't be into a situation what is going to happen. Suppose I run a club, I need to know where I can reach as a club. If they say that tomorrow you can play this league, you can't play that league, then we are all in a confused state. So once that structure is set, I think the grassroots development will start working very seriously.
Yeah, but how do you think the I League will do better, or how I League will survive against a cashless league, ISL?
No, I think if you want to have a promotion and relegation, I think it will survive, and that's where I think the clubs will start focusing more on grassroots, start producing the players rather than just buying out or giving salaries. So once you have your own setup, your grassroots, then you produce your players. That's how the clubs benefit and can manage and run the club. So that is the reason why I feel, and I keep saying it, that we need our structure in place.
Yeah, but are you happy with the players, the bench strength that is coming out because of these leagues, ISL and I League? But my question to you is, when do you think will Indian clubs will be comfortable to reach the knockout stages of the AFC Champions League frequently or regularly?
Uh, so far, it's very difficult to say, and it's been challenging. See, once we start doing regularly, extremely well, under 16, under 17 levels, under 19s, we need to qualify for under 17 World Cup regularly rather than just hosting it. And a lot of our under 17 players that go to play for India should be taking into the top ISL and I League teams and getting regular opportunities through their own quality. And a lot of under 17 players are already making big headlines and breaking into the top ISL teams. That is not happen. So until that does not happen, the future is gonna obviously be very, very challenging.
And what about the federation, Baichung? Now, All India Football Federation, they have come out with the new leagues, which is called Golden Baby Leagues, where small children are getting chances to showcase their talents. Is this an effective step?
This is definitely a good move forward, but all these leagues, you need to have participation of the local clubs around ISL, I League, and the local district level clubs, and you need more participation in these leagues. So that is the most important thing, and from that you need to have a lot of clubs spotting and nurturing those young talents from these baby leagues. Until and unless you don't have that, then just organizing a league itself also is not going to give you the entire benefit what you want. Obviously, it's important and it's good to have a league, but if you don't have a participation and the clubs around that area, bigger clubs around that area, really focusing to nurture those talent, then it does not really fulfill what your aims are.
Got your point. Fair enough. But are you happy with the way the All India Football Federation has been running for the development of the Indian football?
I think there has been challenges for them. You can't completely blame All India Football Federation because in a country like India, football is still a developing sport. The challenges are there for sponsorship, television rights, and television viewership, telecast matches. So it's been difficult, but I think now with ISL coming in, things are getting little, I think, organized. So financially, obviously, I won't say it's been great, but it's at least been little something which they don't need to worry so much in the compared to what was in the past. So I'm sure they can do much better work and job. So they'll have to balance. It's a very, very difficult place to be in because you've got to balance the commercial and the development side of it. So if they can balance both the thing, then I think it will do well.
But Baichung, what do you think is the biggest reason why Indian football is not going upwards? We have been doing well, but in bits and pieces. Talent is also there. You just mentioned that players have been doing so well. All India Football Federation is also, you are saying that they have been a lot of challenges with them. But do you think the coordination of former players and the coordination of maybe good administrators can make Indian football graph go upwards?
No, I think for in India, first of all, just not football. I think the sports culture has to come up. The sporting nature of people in each and individual person, people of the country should have that sporting feeling and the culture into them.
But don't you think it has come up now? Don't you think it has come up? We are winning medals in shooting, badminton. Yeah,
it is definitely come up than what it was, but I think still it's not. If you look at badminton as well, they've been doing so well, but still the badminton federation would not be as anywhere near to cricket CCI cricket association. So I think the culture for sports should come in India, which I think it's coming in, and it will only get better. And even for football as well, as I said, we need to have culture because obviously there's only one global sport that every country in the world plays, that's football. So football that way anyway is a very difficult sport to play and compete because you're competing with more than the number of membership you have in United Nations. So it becomes very, very difficult to really go into great achievements compared to cricket because cricket is played between four top countries within each other. Every time they play each other, it's always shown on television, and it's a country that plays, so it unites and people gets fascinated with the country winning. So it's just played in 4 or 5 countries, and you're showing so much, and you win, lose, and the competition level for the World Cup in cricket and World Cup for football is a huge difference. So I think there will always be challenges in terms of football to gain popularity in India.
Right. Baichung, how would you rate the journey of Indian coach Igor Stimac so far, and foreign coaches for the Indian team? Good decision?
At the moment, yes, it is important because when you bring in good experienced coaches, that's always helpful. And I think he's been doing quite well. He's been unlucky with the results. I think the quality of the games, matches for the team has been quite good. But it's important that he'll now have to start delivering with results as well, because at the end, I think results matter. So far, he's done quite well. I've been happy with the way Indian team has been playing. It's just that he's not been getting the results.
Hmm. But have you ever been approached for the coaching role of the Indian team?
If they approach, I don't think I'm ready to do it right now, because coaching is something which you have to give 24/7. It's more than even being a professional player. I think coaching is, you've got to dedicate your time more than it's a complete job, 24/7 job. So I don't think at this time I would be able to dedicate my time in that way. So maybe later on, but let's see.
Hmm. Right. So later on, you are open to the idea of coaching the Indian team, right?
Absolutely, yes.
Baichung, you are a legend of Indian football, and you gave so many good moments to India. But would you please tell me your best moment on the pitch in the Indian jersey?
I think the best moment definitely would be winning the AFC Challengers and qualifying for the Asia Cup after 27, 28 years. So that is definitely the best moment in my career.
And what would be your best achievement for the Indian football?
See, I think for any footballer, the biggest achievement is to qualify for the World Cup, and then
Yeah.
second biggest achievement is qualify for the Asia Cup. Like any for European players, first is to play the World Cup, second is to play the European Cup. So for us, India, we could not play the World Cup, but at least we managed to play and
Yeah.
qualify for the Asia Cup, which is the biggest tournament for all the footballers in Asia.
Right. And the best player you have played with?
Uh, I've definitely played with the best would be I am Vijayan and Sunil Chetri for sure.
Hmm. Okay. And Baichung, you always praise the new talent. And now, according to you, who has the talent? Since you mentioned Sunil Chetri, who has the talent to replace Sunil Chetri in the Indian team? Because all good things always come to an end. So he cannot play forever for India. Who has the talent to replace Sunil Chetri?
So I think problem is there's been a huge vacuum to replace him, because we've not seen second other striker scoring anywhere near to Sunil Chetri for the national team. So there is a huge gap. But I feel the player from Kerala, Sahid, he is definitely the guy who can, replace Sunil Chetri once he gets into those positions. And I think the coach gives him more confidence and he can start scoring. Then I think he's a top quality player, and he's got age as well. So I think he can fill in Sunil's place.
Hmm. And if we talk about women's football, Baichung, they are ranked way better than men's football. 108 for men football and 55 for women, if I'm not wrong. These are the latest figures
Yes.
that I got. But my question to you is, Baichung, that how big an impact will under 17 Women's World Cup 2021, which will be held in India, uh, will make to create a brand of women's football in India in a better manner?
No, I think it's definitely a big, opportunity for women's football to grow, and especially under 17 World Cup coming in India is that means that you focus more on grassroots level players for the girls. So once you start focusing at that level, it's definitely gonna produce a lot of future stars. So under 17 World Cup for women girls in India is definitely a good step for Indian women's football.
Hmm. Okay, Baichung, time to play a rapid fire round now with you. It will be very small. I know it's a little bit of surprise for you, but I'll tell you the rules. I'll ask you 13, 14 questions, and that has to be answered in just one word. So
No.
let's get it started. Our rapid fire round. Baichung, your favorite footballer?
I am Vijayan.
Okay. Your favorite football club?
United Sikkim Football Club and East Bengal.
Okay. Messi or Ronaldo?
Messi.
Who is the GOAT, greatest of all time of football?
Greatest would be Maradona.
Okay. Pirlo or Xavi?
Xavi.
And country you support at the FIFA World Cup?
Changes every year according to the players. So last I supported was France.
France. Okay. Greatest ever manager in football's history?
Alex Ferguson.
Okay. And club you would have loved to play in Europe?
Arsenal.
Okay. Your favorite side in ISL?
Northeast United.
Okay. Your favorite derby as a fan?
East Bengal Mohun Bagan. East Bengal fan.
Okay. And who is Premier League's best player currently?
Currently, I would say De Bruyne.
Okay.
De Bruyne.
Okay. And whom do you want to play on screen Bhaichung Bhutia in your biopic?
Anybody that can play football, that's it.
Okay. And politics or coach of Indian football team?
Coach of Indian football team.
Okay, nicely answered. Thank you for the rapid fire round, Bhaichung. But before I leave you, just two questions more. What is your message? What message do you want to give to the young guns who would love to represent India in the future? Keep working hard.
I think the most important thing is play with passion and with love. I think you need to really love the sport and play, have the desire to always play and love the sport and learn. And if you do that, you're bound to work hard. So have that passion and love for the sport.
And also, since we spoke about EPL in the rapid fire round, Liverpool, they've just won their first Premier League, I think after 30 years. Very precious title for them.
Oh, it's a very, very precious title. They completely deserve to win it because it's not an easy league. So I think congratulations to Liverpool.
Right. And last question, Bhaichung. How should one cope with COVID-19? You were saying that a lot of negative news is also coming up. Sports,
I think,
yeah.
Just accept it is challenging times. So just stay positive. And look at opportunities to come out look at opportunities come out successfully.
But what do you want to tell to the sports person who are stuck at home, who are frustrated, are not able to practice?
I think just go out, start training, because right now you're allowed to train in the morning. So please make sure you go out, train, and get back to that fitness what you were before lockdown.
Okay, Bhaichung, thank you so much for giving us your precious time to DD News and DD India. That's all we have in this special broadcast. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.
Namaskar. Thank you.